What is going on, Flex Zone family? It's your boy, God's favorite host, the host of the Moist Back here on the Flex Zone podcast. Only place giving you your sports how you want and when you need it. Back again with more coaching profiles. This time, taking a look at the most scrutinized coach on this entire staff, Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens. Right now, as far as we know, it looks like he will be heading into the 2022 season. But hit that like button, hit that bell for all notifications, hit that subscribe button, join us. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, you and you. Only place giving you your sports how you want and when you need it. So Flex On Podcast, thank you again. I'm going to talk about Greg Roman today. Thank you for supporting my first video on Mike McDonald, defensive coordinator. But let's get to it. Greg Roman, I already said it. He's the most scrutinized coach we have on this roster. This is a make or break year for Greg Roman. We've probably heard that the last 2 years, in my opinion. 2019, the offense broke all sorts of records. Number one rushing offense in NFL history. Fantastic. Breaking, like I said, all sorts of records. Running game, revolutionizing the game of football. Lamar Jackson looked like the best quarterback in the league. Unanimous MVP. Wow. Greg Roman was riding high. He got coaching interviews. There were thoughts he could leave the Ravens, maybe be the Browns coach or the Giants, or there were teams talking to him and the Texans, I believe. So Greg Roman was riding high. We know Greg Roman has taken the San Francisco 49ers offense for Colin Kaepernick, which was revolutionary, to the Super Bowl against said Ravens, ironically. Could have won the Super Bowl then after they came back when Beyonce cut the lights out. But Greg Roman, we know he can do great things running the football. You look at his time in Buffalo. Wonderful, wonderful run offense. Can create run concepts, run schemes, I think as good as anybody maybe in the history of the game of NFL. Using mobile quarterbacks, using a guy who can run the football, using that to his advantage. But passing offense is what is going to be the key for Greg Roman. I believe his passing offense has never finished higher than 25th. You heard that right, 25th. And for the Baltimore Ravens to make a legit Super Bowl run, as we know this team has the capability of possibly doing with Lamar Jackson as quarterback, which it starts and ends with, they're going to have to finish in the top 20 of the NFL in passing. I say at least maybe 18, but 18 to 20 range, I think can get the job done because I think there'll be two or three in rushing them. Cleveland, San Francisco probably will be up there again. Whomever else. We'll see. But obviously teams don't run the ball as much. But you got to be able to throw the football consistently to beat teams in the NFL and beat defenses. And that's what the Baltimore Ravens are going to have to do this upcoming season. Now, you got Lamar Jackson. We know that Lamar Jackson is the MVP of this team. The offensive line is rebuilt. We don't know Ronnie Stanley's status, but I think with the pieces they have in place right now, with or without Ronnie Stanley, I do think they can suffice. I do think they will be improved. Tyler Linderbaum, Zeitler, Morgan Moses, Phillips, Cleveland, Juwan James. I think they have enough, even without Ronnie Stanley, to be a lot better than they were last year. I think that's the key for this offense, first and foremost, obviously, to run the football. I mentioned that right side is going to be very strong. They got to run the football effectively. But I think Greg Roman has to create opportunities and play action and shotgun, using a pistol, using quarterback rollouts, using waggles, using sprint options, using different types of creative plays to play to Lamar Jackson's strengths. We don't need to see the stupid slot outs. We don't need to see two or three receivers in the same area. We don't need to see those same plays we saw that were scrutinized last time they were in the playoffs against Buffalo. We need to have creativity, innovation. Now, do I think Greg Roman is going to do that? I don't have faith in it because we haven't seen it yet. And honestly, does a leopard change his spots? I don't know, but Greg Roman does not change his play calls. Our offense is very predictable. You've heard it from Kurt Warner, Steve Smith, who was a former Raven, and other pundits. I've said it myself watching the game. I know the game of football and I can probably predict some of the plays, but I could probably ask a 4 or 5-year-old just watching the game for the first time, what are they going to do? Run? You can tell they're going to run. You can tell they're going to run. Or they're going to tell they're going to pass. Or they're going to do a simple pass play. He doesn't do many jet sweeps. He doesn't do many reverses to guys like Duvernay. He didn't do it and use Hollywood correctly, I think. They don't throw the ball deep as much. Is that all on Greg Roman? No, because obviously the offensive line has to be better. And obviously Lamar Jackson has to progress through his reads. Same thing with throwing to the check down, throwing to the underneath passes when it's not there down the field. I think it's very, very important that those things have to come into play as well as the players have to execute. But Greg Roman has to utilize Lamar Jackson, as I mentioned. Put him in shotgun. Put him in empty set. Don't just do a quarterback draw out of the empty set. Do jet sweeps. Do wide receiver screens. Do slant routes. Do drag routes. Use the speed of a Devin Duvernay, of a James Prochet. Use Rashad Bateman on a double move. Use Rashad Bateman's ability to go up and make high point catches. Let him run a 9 deep route and go up and beat his guy. Let Tylan Wallace, go make some plays, throw him the ball 2 or 3 times deep in the game. Mark Andrews, let him use some tight end options. Let's do some shovel passes. We see the Chiefs do it all the time with Travis Kelsey, especially on short yardage and in the red zone. That little shovel pass to Kelsey works every time. 2 point conversions. They do it to perfection. Obviously, it takes practice and repetition, but I think Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews could do that. We've seen certain games in the Colts game. We've seen against the Titans when they did lose. They have the opportunity to create big plays, but it can't just be Lamar run around and play backyard football. You have to utilize motion. You have to utilize different plays. You have to move guys around. Move Rashad Bateman in the slot. Use 2, 3 tight ends. Use Mark Andrews. Use Likely in the slot as a receiver because he runs like a receiver. When Kohler comes back, use him. It's going to be very, very imperative. Obviously, I don't want the teams to go out there and throw the ball 50 times a game. I don't think that's a recipe for success. But a nice balance of run pass. And no, it doesn't have to always be 50-50, but it means doing both things well. You could run the ball 60% of the time and throw the ball 40% of the time. But if you're throwing the ball 10, 15 yards down the field every play, you're moving the ball effectively. And when you do run the football, you can tire the defense out going into the fourth quarter and into the end of the game. Now, I would like to see, as I mentioned, creative route concepts. Let T. Martin, let the guys who work with the receivers utilize that route tree. Let them show that they can run post, slants, drags, wide receiver screens, comebacks, curls, 9 routes, a vertical route, option routes. Let them have the opportunity to make plays depending on how the defense is playing them. Use them in motion. Don't just use the receivers to block. Use running back screens. We got J.K. Dobbins. Use a screen to Patrick Ricard. Let him rumble, bumble, and bowl his way down the field. A tight end screen to Mark Andrews. Isaiah Likely, get him using his speed in the red zone and outside in the receiver in the slot position. Use Prochet underneath. Let him eat up the defense with those short, in between, intermediate routes. Let him be like a Wes Welker type for this team. Got to use your talent, Greg Roman. Have to use your talent. Have to be creative. Have to be innovative because defensive coordinators have figured your offense out. You're not going to be able to run the ball every play and be able to beat these teams and be successful. They're going to pack the pocket, keep Lamar inside the pocket, not allow you to run the football, and dare you to throw the football down the field. Now it's going to be up to the offensive line and Lamar Jackson to go through those reads. But hey, have those checkdowns. Have those swing routes to the running back out the backfield. Quick, easy completions to get Lamar in rhythm. A wide receiver screen, a running back screen, a tight end screen, a little shovel pass on third and short or in the red zone. Let them utilize their talents. Do things that we have not seen before. Catch up with the rest of the league and use the talent that you have. Use Duvernay like a Debo Samuel. Have him in the backfield. Have him take draws. Have him take screens. Have him do jet sweeps. Have him do reverses. Do a double reverse with him and Prochet. Do a wide receiver pass. Do certain things that you may not see a running back pass. Yes, those are gadget plays, but you got to throw certain things in there sometimes to keep the defense honest. Because teams aren't going to expect the Ravens to do a running back pass, aren't going to expect the Ravens to do a double reverse or wide receiver pass, or use Lamar Jackson to go out and catch a pass maybe, or do certain things, a Philly special they called it. To make or break year for Greg Roman. Now, do I think Greg Roman makes it through the whole season? Because yes, the Ravens aren't known to always fire coaches. Obviously, him and Greg Roman, excuse me, John Harbaugh have a good rapport, but obviously, when Cam Cameron was fired midseason, the Ravens went on to win the Super Bowl. So it could happen if he's not performing through the first 8 weeks of the season. But I do think Greg Roman finishes out the year. I personally would have moved on from him last year and went younger like you did on defense with Mike McDonald. But I don't want to see guys lose their job. Greg Roman, this is your last opportunity. You're on a thin string and you have to perform. What do you guys think Greg Roman's going to do? As I mentioned, they got to finish top 20 in passing. I think they'll be top 3 or 5 in rushing because that is their bread and butter. Use Dobbins, use Edwards, use Davis, use Beatty, use him as a receiver, use him in certain opportunities as well. Use 5, 6 receivers. Don't just throw it to the same guys. And like I said, that goes to Lamar and the guys on this team of being able to develop and make plays execute. But I think Greg Roman has to use shotgun. Use I formation. We don't always have to be in the pistol. Use I formation. Use a heavy set. Use play action. Use waggles. Use rollouts. Use sprint options. Let Lamar Jackson use his legs and have an option on each play to run or pass or make a play that he sees fit because he's always a threat to run, but he's also a quarterback and can throw the football. And what we've seen so far, he's improved throwing the football. And that's all you can ask from Lamar Jackson. If he's doing that consistently, he has time to be protected by the offensive line and make plays. We know he can make something out of nothing. He's spectacular. So even when guys get in the backfield, he can make a guy miss if need be. But the offensive line is going to be the key. I think they'll be better. He can still run the ball effectively. Use that play action, use that running game, and then from there, go and use some verticality. Open up the defense, take some shots down the field, allow this team to make some chunk plays. Don't just have it be going 12, 15 plays every time. That's hard to do in the NFL. Easy to get figured out. You got to open up the playbook. And as I said, that goes to Lamar Jackson, the offensive line, and other people on this team executing and being great at their craft because Greg Roman doesn't go out there, make passes, catch passes, block, run the football. It's going to be imperative that he makes the right play calls, that he utilizes and adds new wrinkles in there. And as I mentioned, they don't have to be the number one passing offense in the NFL, but if they can be top 20, top 15 possibly in passing. But 18 to 20 is a good range. I think they'll be top five in rushing, a top five rushing offense, a top 20 passing offense. With this team, we've seen how they can operate, have the best record in the NFL with the running game, and still have a guy leading the league in passing touchdowns. I think it's very, very important. And I think it's something that this team has to do to take that next step to make a deep playoff run and get to and win a Super Bowl if that is the ultimate goal, which it is with these NFL teams. And a team like the Ravens that has a lot of talent, in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section about Greg Roman. Would you have moved on from him? Would you go get somebody else? Does he make it through the season? What do you want him to utilize in his offense? More route trees, more route concepts, option screens, jet sweeps, reverses. Use Duvernay like Debo Samuel a little bit, have him in the backfield, use him in the backfield to catch passes, keep the defense honest, use Lamar Jackson, do some option plays, keep it creative. Week to week, change up your offense. Don't be predictable and allow the defense to key in on what you've done the past 3 or 4 years. Hit the comments down below, let me know what you think. Hit that like button, hit that bell for all notifications, and of course, subscribe to the Flex On Podcast, only place giving you your sports how you win when you need it. Thank you for your support. More coaching profiles coming up here on the Flex On Podcast, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on Greg Roman. Does he make it through the year? Is this his last season? I think it is, but I'm out of here, y'all. Give Lamar a chance to be great in this offense. Use Bateman, use Andrews, and use the weapons that have been added from Eric DeCosta. Use Dobbins, use Edwards. Use these guys. Use Duvernay. Use Crochet. You got them. Use them. Don't go down being stubborn and not changing. Because if you don't change, change will change you, and you will be out of a job and be looking from the sideline. God's favorite host, I'm gone, y'all. Peace.